Hello and welcome to this video review of this fountain pen. Its manufacturer is a rather famous Chinese brand named Jinhao, as is also indicated already on the clip of the pen. The name of this model is a number 991, and this is the case with the vast majority of Chinese fountain pens, as far as I've seen on the internet at least. I'll start talking about the physical and objective aspects of this pen in this review first. Capped. This pen is 13.5 centimeter long. I'd compare it to other two Jinhao models, such as the Jinhao 993, which is a bit longer because of the elongated tapered shape of the barrel and the cap. The Jinhao 992, which is slightly shorter. And finally, a very popular starter pen, the Rime-e-Lettere, which is very similar in shape to the Rime Safari, so we can also call the Rime Safari and Vista in this comparison, which is about the same length. Uncapped, this pen is 12.7 centimeter long, and posted, this pen is a good 16 centimeter long. Uncapped, this pen weighs only 8 grams, and posted, this pen weighs only 12 grams. So these are the measurements. About the material of the pen, most of the pen is made of plastic. The only exceptions are the clutching of the converter, the nib, and the clip. The branding is present on the clip, on the nib, and on the inner section. Oh, and also on the turning knob of the converter. The snap cap is straight in shape. The finial is just a dome of clear plastic, and there is also an inner cap. The nib is stainless steel. It has a briefer hole, and it's branded with the logo and the name of the brand, and it's marked with an F for fine. The section is straight but for a protruding ring that helps keeping the snap cap in place. The barrel is perfectly straight with a nondescript end. The pen arrived to me with a converter inside. Alright, I'll talk about my opinions now. So please keep in mind that I'm a recently graduated student, and I'd like to continue my path in the academic world, so I still have a full-on student mentality regarding stationery products in general. Please keep this in mind. Alright, I find the clip of the Jinhao 991 very functional and practical. I have a couple of pens which clips are way too tight for me to attach to a pen roll or to the pages of a book or notebook. In my experience, the snap cap and the inner cap of this Jinhao 991 do a very good job of keeping the nib wet overnight. I haven't had any startup issues so far. The grip section of this pen is quite narrow, but not narrower than most ballpoints, than most slim ballpoints, roller balls, and gel pens out there. If you are used to thick cushioning rubber grips though, you may find this grip a touch too narrow for your taste. On a positive note about this section is that it is perfectly circular, round, so you can hold the pen however you like. The section is also long enough for me to actually rest my fingers there, but if it looks too short for you in pictures or in video, I don't recommend it because the step between the barrel and the section is not smooth, at least in my opinion. The barrel is long enough for me to write with this pen unposted. Although I've used this pen as a portable pen for some time, and I always use my portable pen posted because outside on public transport, on a bench somewhere, or on a sidewalk, or in class, I use one hand to hold the paper and the other hand holds the pen. The material of the cap is good to be portable and postable because it's lightweight plastic, so it doesn't throw off the balance of the pen at all. The lightweight of the whole pen is also good for using it during long writing sessions. One thing to be careful about when you use this pen posted is the clip. It's wide and its edges are not smooth, so you can't post the pen blindly in a hurry. You need to look at the position of the clip. So you post the cap and make sure to align it with the nib. Once I found a couple of fountain pens which I don't need to mind in this regard, this pen stopped being my portable pen. Alright, I'll talk about my writing experience with this pen now, and I remind whoever is watching this that this is also part of the subjective section of this review. I received this pen together with two Jinhao pens I ordered, which I already showed in this video. The Jinhao 992 and the Jinhao 993. The three nibs and feeds of these models are identical and interchangeable. Out of the box, the nib of the 993 was the best. It was wet but a bit scratchy. The nib of the 992 was decently smooth, but it was very dry and skippy, whereas the nib of the 991 happened to be the worst of a lot, being very dry and very scratchy. This denotes a very poor quality control in these Jinhao nibs, so I cannot recommend either model of this brand to youngsters or to complete beginners in the fountain pen world. One major upside regarding these Jinhao nibs is related to another subjective consideration outside of performance, that is the price of nibs. On AliExpress and eBay, I found the Jinhao 991 can be purchased for 80 cents of euro, which is roughly $1. The 992 model can be found for 1.50 cents of euro, and the 993 for €1.40, making these nibs very affordable for students even on a tight budget. Also, let's not forget that all free models came with a converter included. So you only need to spend, say, $3 or $4 more for a bottle of diamond ink, for example, and forget about writing supplies for a semester at least. Back to the relation between Jinhao nibs, the Jinhao nibs I tried, and their price. The Jinhao 991 is, in my opinion, a great place to start tinkering with nib tuning, using a plastic page marker and 3 sheets of sanding paper that I got for 30 cents of euros each in a local home improvement store. I adjusted the nib of my Jinhao 991 from a dry, scratchy thing into a wet and decently smooth writer. And this was my very first experience with nib tuning, so I'm pleasantly surprised with how this turned out. But if you don't want to fiddle with nib though, I cannot honestly recommend this fountain pen. One final subjective consideration regarding the marking on the nib is about this F. Depending on a number of factors, including what you are used to in your country in terms of fine writing, your experience with writing instruments, the spacing of your paper, the characters of your language and properties of your ink and paper, you may agree with the marking on this nib that this is a fine nib. But I cannot. Because of the above mentioned factors, this for me is a medium nib. I'd compare it to a Lamy medium, for example. It looks even broader in video. For me, this is definitely a medium nib, and I bought it because it was marketed as a fine nib. It's written fine on the nib itself, but it's not a fine nib, which I don't think is fair marketing at all. So please beware of this observation if you browse for fountain pens and if you are considering buying this fountain pen in particular. This was a brief, concise and hopefully helpful video review of the fountain pen called Jinhao 991. Again, I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.